Monster Jam fans, welcome out to Miami, Florida. We are here at the home of the Miami Marlins as we prepare for an amazing two-show weekend here on Stadium Tour Green. This is the first of two shows that you'll be seeing in this commentary as we have the amazing Monster Jam drivers from this tour getting ready to compete in an all-out brawl on this amazing track. This tour has been quite the one to watch all season long. We have seen so many drivers get so much better as this season has progressed. Drivers like Heavy D have emerged as some of the favorites to be top-tier drivers going into the World Finals. Guys like Ryan Anderson on an absolute roll right now. We have a lot of drivers that are trying to just keep themselves afloat and hopefully keep their World Finals hopes alive. Ryan Anderson is arguably the hottest driver in Monster Jam right now as he will try and take the lead on the tour. He's got two shows to try and do so. So, the question is, will Ryan Anderson be able to prevail, or will Neil Elliott continue to dominate and get enough points to hold himself at a considerably comfortable lead over Son of a Digger? It's been a long and hard battle for Stadium Tour Green all season long. All roads lead to the Monster Jam World Finals in Orlando, Florida in May. It is going to be an unforgettable weekend of Monster Jam action. You can see some of the drivers from this tour and every Monster Jam tour out there competing for World Finals championships. But Miami, this is Monster Jam! And are you ready to meet your competitors tonight? We've got Neil Elliott in Max D, Cynthia Gauthier, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. I was trying to go as they went, and I don't know if that was Chester or not, so we're just going to continue. Morgan Kane and Gravedigger, Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger, Matt Bagliarulo in Chester, Nick Bagliarulo and Kraken, Jimmy Cretin and Bounty Hunter, Dawn Cretin and Scarlet Bandit, Roy Pridgeon and Exterminator, Kristen Hope in Wolf's Head, Corey Rummel and Megalodon, Kevin Crocker and El Toro Loco, Neil Elliott and Max D, Cynthia Gauthier and Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Heavy D and Brodozer, and Diesel Dave in the Bro Camino. Are you ready, Monster Jam fans? Let's meet all the drivers in the actual show because we've got the individual intros to come. Then we're going to hop right into the final round of Monster Jam Racing. I lied. We're starting in the semifinals. Thank you again, Armando Monster Jam Invasion, for this video. This first semifinal matchup, Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, Corey Rummel, and Megalodon. The winner goes to the final round of racing. Ryan Anderson is on 2 wheels. He messes up, but Corey Rummel does not look too good right now. This is going to be a close finish. And oh my, Ryan Anderson with a mistake. And Corey Rummel in Megalodon will win one of the craziest races of the year as Ryan Anderson still goes out in style. The next race is a battle between some of the most iconic Monster Jam trucks in the history of the world, the best rivalry in motorsports, Gravedigger Maxi, Morgan Kane, and Neil Elliott. Neil Elliott has been a part of this Max D Gravedigger rivalry since 2002 when he got his start in Monster Jam, and he is spinning out, giving Gravedigger an edge. Morgan Kane with a chance to go to the final round, and it looks like he's going to take the keys and walk himself in easily to the final round of racing as Neil Elliott, with so many issues in this race, is going to be knocked down early. So it's time for the final round of racing. Morgan Kane and Gravedigger and Corey Rummel and Megalodon, both drivers who would love to win racing. Corey chasing that first racing win of the year. He has had so much dominance in this racing track all season long, has not gotten a racing win. Morgan has won racing so far this year, so nonetheless, this is going to be a good race. Corey Rummel with the lead. Going to the final turn, Corey Rummel again makes a mistake, and yet again in the final round of racing, Corey Rummel and Megalodon, he makes one small mistake that'll cost him the racing win as Morgan Kane in Gravedigger's your racing winner. Congratulations to Morgan. He looked pretty good in these last 2 races. He was able to skate by with 2 unfortunate performances from his competitors. So, whether it was that he had the best runs of the night or not, he still is your racing winner. We hop now in to the skills challenge. Matt Pagliarulo in this beautiful blue Jester will start us off by hitting that jammer. And he's going to get a very well put together slap wheelie for hit number 1. Going to line up for a bicycle for hit number 2. He's still going. Oh my, Matt Pagliarulo looking good. A very creative 2 hits. A solid run for Jester. Next out, this is Kevin Crocker in El Toro Loco, the Crazy Bull, going for a sky wheelie off of the jammer. He will now line up for another sky wheelie on the logs. Gets a nice sky wheelie there, so 2 hits in the books for El Toro Loco, but Jester still, in my opinion, has her best run of the night. This is now Kristen Hope in Wolf's Head as she will go for a sky wheelie. She's going to line up for hit number 2 here, trying to take the best run away from Matt Pagliarulo as she is going to hit the jammer. Can't get the kick on it, but still gets a little wheelie, so that is the end of Wolf's Head's run. Next out, this is Roy Bridget and Exterminator going for a little stoppie. Oh my. Oh, he's on the sidewalls, and he got a nice save here in the skills challenge. It wasn't what he intended on, but hey, that was still on 2 wheels. He as well is going to line up for that jammer, getting a nice sky wheelie. And that is the end of his run. So, Roy Bridgen with a good first hit, but cannot quite follow it up with the second. So, I still got to sit with Jester as your best run of the night right now.
Let's go!
Heavy D and Brodozer is next out. We have not seen Colt Stevens or Cam McQueen drive in a long time. They do have one more show in first quarter. Brodozer going for a bicycle. Heavy D looking really good. He goes for the moonwalk, and he gets a little stoppie, a bicycle to stoppie combo.
Another one. Here we go.
He's going for another bicycle here. Let's see what he can get. He is looking really solid so far, and a good 2 hits, and that is your new best run of the night for Brodozer. Dawn Cretin and Scarlet Bandit will be next, as she will line up for the log right in front of us, getting a sky wheelie for hit number 1. She's now going to go for a reverse popper off of the pod over there. Going for the reverse popper. Oh my! On the rear 2 wheels, and she's going to walk it forward, and Dawn Cretin with the best reverse popper she has gotten so far. She's having one of her best seasons she's had in a long time. A good run. Next up, this is Cynthia Gauthier in the Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Backside of the racing lane, can't get the stoppie she wants. Oh, she's going for a donut. But you can't go for a donut after you already tried a two-wheel move, so she will get a 0. As you can see on the bottom, a tough break. Cynthia Gauthier not following the rules, so that is a 0 for her. Next out, this is Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Walking that bicycle. He is on the sidewalls here, and he ends up on his lid. Cannot quite save it. Well, now next, this is Jimmy Cretin in Bounty Hunter. Going for the power wheel. He can't get the power enough there for hit number 1. He will have 1 hit left, trying to knock Brodozer out of the best run of the night. Pops it over the racing lane. He got a lot of extra power on that move. So that is the end of Bounty Hunter's run. This is now Diesel Dave in the Bro Camino going for a stoppie. The first guy to get a stoppie tonight, and he will drag that nose on the ground. A great first hit. And will now line up for hit number 2, trying to take the best run away from his teammate Heavy D. And he is well going for a bicycle. He gets the bicycle onto the other side. 2 solid hits. I'm still going to sit with Brodozer as your best run of the night, though. Next out, this is Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. He's going to put it into a stoppie as well, and he's going to combo it into a wheelie. That's a move he's done a lot, but the transmission seems to have given out there, so let's see if he can refire. He does get to refire for hit number 2. Puts it down into another stoppie, and Nick Pagliarulo will set her down. Kraken looking pretty good after 2 hits. Next, this is Neil Elliott in Max D. He is the skills king from this year. He has looked so good in the skills competition all season long. He's won more skills competitions than anyone on the stadium circuit. Trying to continue that now. He already is putting down the best move of the night with this stoppie moonwalk combo here. And he sets it down. Fantastic first hit for Max D. He will now line up on the backside of the racing ramp as he will go for another stoppie here. Gets it on the front 2 wheels. The truck centers itself out on the front 2. Miami fans, put your hands together because this is an impressive 2-wheel run. The fans are getting loud as he is balancing that truck on 2 wheels. And Neil Elliott will walk it back down. A fantastic run, and of course, your new best run of the night. Next out will be Corey Rummel in Megalodon, the prehistoric shark. So he's going to try and take the lead away from Neil Elliott. He will line up for the jammer, going for a slap wheelie, and he gets the power to get it. Great first hit for Megalodon. He will now have 1 hit left to try and wow these fans enough to take the best run away from Neil Elliott. He will get it down into a stoppie, walking it a little bit. 2 good hits for Corey Rummel. But there is 1 truck left tonight, and that is Morgan Kane in Gravedigger, who's going to go for a stoppie. He hasn't done this much this year, and he will moonwalk it up the ramp, looking really smooth. An awesome move from Morgan Kane in Gravedigger as he will set her down. A fantastic first hit. Let's see what he could do for hit number 2 here. He's going to go off of the same ramp and go for a bicycle. Got a lot of speed on it now going for the bicycle, and he will set it down. So that is the end of Gravedigger's run. That little wheelie does not count for his scoring. So a solid competition out here. Your skills winner is Neil Elliott and Max D, and that will transition us right into the freestyle competition as Roy Bridgen is out here freestyling in Exterminator. Looking pretty good early on. Rollover Roy, we like to call him. He is quite the driver. Oh my, flipping over, and that's the end of the run, and Rollover Roy confirmed. Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken will be next as he is going to try and knock Roy over out of the best run of the night. However, I don't think he filled the 30-second requirement, so he might already be guaranteed to get it if he gets past that mark. But we'll have to wait and see. Nonetheless, Nick is trying to fill the clock here, get himself a good run. Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken, second-generation driver. I don't think he will be the only child of Matt Pagliarulo to be driving in Monster Jam. I think we'll be seeing some of Matt's other children getting into the sport at some point once they are old enough. But Nick has so far really taken this sport by charge. I mean, he has done really, really good at the beginning of this career that he has had. It has been a shorter career for him as he is only in his sophomore year of Monster Jam, but it doesn't really matter because he is still competing amongst the big guns. He drives this truck better, it seems, every single week. Last year, first quarter was a bit of a learning experience for him. He did not do as well in the first quarter last year as we have seen other drivers do, but he definitely picked up the pace in second quarter last year. The second half of the year was a very big step up for him. He had a lot of really great shows. That's when he really started figuring out how to do those stoppies, and he started mixing them into his freestyle runs, and he has, I believe, done a stoppie in every single freestyle run he has had since the second half of last year. But he is having a truck problem right now. That back left wheel is not spinning. He has no power to it, which means that stoppie might not be possible in this run, but he still might be able to fill the clock. Yeah, he is done. That is, oh, maybe not. He's going to decide to go for a donut. This will count for scoring, so he is going for a donut, and that's the end of the run for Kraken, your new best run of the night. Next out, this is Kristen Hope in Wolf's Head. Kristen Hope going to try to put herself atop the leaderboard with Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken, putting down a good run, filling the clock, but he did leave a lot to be desired in that last quarter. I think it's good to look at freestyle runs by the quarter. You kind of look at every single quarter of the run because you could divide each run in fourths. And that last quarter of the run, those last 30 seconds, was not as good as the first because of the truck braking, so she definitely has an opportunity to take your best run of the night. Nick had a good run, his momentum was there, but he didn't have any super wow moments because I think he was going to try those in the last quarter, could not quite get there with that truck being broken. So that does leave an opportunity for Kristen Hope to get herself atop the leaderboard here at the beginning of the night. Definitely looking solid early on here. She's putting herself through the ringer though in this run. She is definitely throwing down a good run. She is not giving that truck any leeway. She's now got 30 seconds left. I don't think she has any power in that back right. Going to spin it into a donut. Beautiful donut for Wolf's Head, looking really, really good. She is having a very solid run right now. She looks to fill the clock. And I think she will fill the clock. As she does, the clock has been filled right there. And that is the end of the run. So as I will do in most of, if not all of these two-show commentaries in which I have a multi-commentary weekend, I'm going to cut out the runs that I believe did not necessarily need to be in the freestyle competition. So I did cut out 2 runs already. But we resume with Matt Pagliarulo in Chester as he will look to take a nice freestyle to the bank here in his hometown of Florida. He has already some really good memories as he won the very first overall event championship of the year right here in Florida, down in Tampa. So Matt is hoping that the Florida magic can continue as he rolls into Miami now. With Monster Jam not going to Orlando anymore, well, right now in the first quarter because of Orlando being the home of the Monster Jam World Finals, it means that there are now only 3 stops in Florida in first quarter, which are Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville. Jacksonville is actually happening this weekend, so in next weekend's commentaries, you will be seeing that show. That is the last stop to complete the Florida stops. Obviously, Orlando was the last time we will be in Florida for stadium shows in the year. Oh man, Matt almost lost his run there, but thankfully I've seen a big improvement in terms of control of his truck. He is learning how, if he's in a weird position, he can save it. But he's lining up for the backflip now. Under-rotated it a little bit, got it on the rear two wheels. Let's see if he could save it as he sits it there on the back two wheels, stuck the landing. He now moves the truck, sets her down. A fantastic move. That is by far the longest time a truck has sat on a wheelie where it actually continues to run afterwards. What a run out of Matt Pagliarulo. I guess this guy just has some magic fairy dust that pops out into his engine whenever he is in Florida, because so far, his second time in Florida of the year has been another magical one. Right at the end of time, airing that Jester out, nosedives it in, and that will be the last move of the run that will count for scoring a phenomenal freestyle for Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. Your new best run of the night right there. I'm not sure if he's done. He is still loving the fact that he is out here in Florida in front of his hometown crowd. And now he is done. Next out is Kevin Crocker in El Toro Loco, as he is going to try to put down an awesome run for these Miami fans. And he is airing it out. Kevin Crocker, I think, has gotten better by the show, honestly. He has really done pretty well this year. I am impressed. I think a lot of people underrated what Kevin Crocker can do. He was a very good driver when he drove Monster Mutt. No, he wasn't a top 2 or 3 on a tour guy, but he was definitely a guy that when you're going to see him in a show, he's not going to let you down. He will still put down a good run. I mean, I saw him back in Stafford Springs when he was there a few years ago. He had a really good show. He was awesome. That Monster Mutt truck was definitely not weak in that competition. So him, I guess driving animals is just the way to go for Kevin Crocker. But definitely having a really solid year so far. One of the more underrated drivers in the sport. No, he's definitely not a guy who is capable of winning competitions at this point, but you can certainly count on him maybe getting into the top 5 if he throws down a good enough run and the circumstances work out right. Not a bad run so far. He's getting that flow. The momentum is certainly there. He's filling his run with a lot of good moves. That is a good key to getting some points. The last 3 commentary weekend of 2020. I also wanted to say that I am no longer, well, for right now, the plan is that I will no longer be doing commentaries on weekends where there are not 2020 shows. You'll see that reflected in the commentary schedule at the end of the video. And that is the end of the run. That hit does count. So El Toro Loco is finished. His freestyle has concluded. A solid run. Jimmy Creedon is next out to freestyle as he will go off that jump. He is still looking for his first really good freestyle of the year. He has not really had much luck as the season's gone on. Jimmy Creedon in the Bounty Hunter, your reigning World Finals racing champion. He is now a 2-time World Finals champion and is a part of a small bunch of drivers that can say that they have won both racing and World Finals, racing and freestyle World Finals titles. Jimmy Creedon's actually the second most decorated driver on this tour. Ryan Anderson is the most. Well, actually, I think they're tied. They both have 2 World Finals championships. Yeah, so Jimmy Creighton and Ryan Anderson are tied for the most decorated World Finals champions in this entire tour. Jimmy Creighton added to that last year in the World Finals. I don't think he has something wrong with this truck. He has no power in that front left. He has no front power at all, actually. Oh yeah, still able to get a power wheelie though, because all you need is rear power for that. He is still managing to put together a solid run. He is going for the backflip with a broken truck. Oh my, stuffs it in, can't quite get the backflip landed. Tough break. But that is the end of the run. Next out, this is Neil Elliott and Max D. Neil Elliott, your skills winner. He seems to be in a position almost every week where he can double down. More big air. Neil Elliott and Max D, one of the most impressive drivers to never win a World Finals championship, if not the most impressive. There's a nice list of drivers that have never won a World Finals championship that deserve the opportunity. Drivers on that list go to Lindsey Wink. Some even will put Colvin Arndt on that list just because of how good he is. But Lindsey Wink and Neil Elliott obviously top the charts. Chuck Warner even flying over the racing lane. Chuck never really got into I don't think Chuck ever even... No, Chuck Warner never competed in a World Finals. Still one of the best drivers to never win one. But Neil Elliott hopes that will end this year, as he's having a pretty good year. He could be a serious competitor for that skills championship. Big air off of that jump. That is the biggest air of the night. He skied that truck really big time. Still getting nice air. This has been a good run. But Matt Pagliarulo definitely has your best run of the night so far. Going for the backflip, just speeds up to it. Oh man, he can't land the backflip, just stuffed it in there. Tough break. Next up, this is Corey Rummel in Megalodon. He will try and throw down a good freestyle tonight in front of these Miami fans. Corey Rummel, your runner-up in the racing competition, and had a pretty solid skills run. Not many trucks remain out here in freestyle. That is more big air. We saw Neil Elliott get the biggest air of the night, but Corey Rummel does not fear heights at all. He just goes big every single time he's out on the track. As you can see right there, this shark does not have any problem flying through the sky at any show that it participates in with Corey Rummel behind the wheel. Your only Stadium Tour Megalodon driver as well, so he has some pretty big shoes to fill in for as he drags that tail. Last year was both him and Justin Sipes, and they both were very good. Right now, Corey is the sole stadium driver of this truck. Massive air. He is really airing this thing out. Sending it, absolutely launching it over the racing lane. This truck is just, he has put it on autopilot. This thing flies. Going for the backflip ramp. Let's see if he can land it cleanly. We've seen a lot of issues with it tonight. And another driver who can't land the backflip. A tough break as he is done. this next guy out here in freestyle is one of the most impressive Monster Jam drivers right now. He hasn't won anything today. Maybe this is his time to change that. It is Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger, arguably the hottest driver in Monster Jam right now. And my goodness, he is not holding back at all early on in this run, getting big air. If you've seen a Ryan Anderson freestyle, you know that no matter what has happened before him in the freestyle competition, he goes all out in every single freestyle he is in. A big example of that is back in World Finals 19, the 2018 stop to Las Vegas was quite the impressive one for Ryan Anderson as he came out after a very disappointing freestyle competition. He came out last, and really, if he ended early, it would have been a disappointing night, but he went full bore all 2 minutes of his run, put down the best run of his life, and was able to win the freestyle competition. He is really sending it out here in Miami, though. He is a two-time World Finals champion, and there's a reason for that. This guy is one day probably going to be the most decorated driver in Monster Jam. He is also a part of that category that has won both a racing and freestyle championship. He won the racing in 2017 and freestyle in 2018. And he is showing why he earned that freestyle championship with big moves like that. One of the most innovative drivers in the sport. He's lining up for the mini flip. His first time doing this year. Oh my goodness, and he gets a moonwalk out of it, a mini flip to moonwalk while on fire. One of the coolest moves Ryan Anderson has pulled out to date. His truck is burning to shreds, and that is the end of the run and your new best run of the night for Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. Morgan Kane in Gravedigger, another World Finals champion. There's a lot of World Finals champions in this field here, but Morgan Kane is one of them. He is a World Finals racing champion from 2016 in the Gravedigger truck. He has been chasing a second championship ever since. But ever since then, he has made himself one of the best World Finals racers in the sport. Always seems to be a big threat for the racing championship. He's going to spin it into a donut. He is having a solid run so far, but again, as we have seen so far tonight, you've got to do some really awesome things if you want to win freestyle. A lot of drivers have had good runs, but they have not had that super wow moment. Matt Pagliarulo really is the only one. But he is launching it right now, using that ramp as a launch pad, as he just got some sick air. That might have been the biggest air of the night. It is time for the Monster Energy backflip ramp as Morgan Kane will hit it. Oh boy, he over-rotates it and will end on his lid. That is the end of the run. Brodozer did not have a good enough freestyle. So your freestyle winner tonight is Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. But there is one show left here in this commentary. I'm going to let you guys watch intros, then we're going to hop into the final round of racing. It is now time to crown a racing winner tonight as Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger will take on Morgan Kane and Gravedigger. Morgan won racing last night, so he could go and win both racing competitions from this weekend, but Ryan Anderson trying to take that away from him. Morgan Kane having it. Weird sounds coming from that engine as Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger will take home the racing win tonight. Oh my, Morgan still hasn't crossed the finish line. And that'll be the end of the run. And Ryan Anderson, your racing winner from tonight. A solid showing out of Son of a Digger. We now hop into the skills competition as Bro Camino will be next in this show. Starting us off today, he will turtle himself over. That's the end of the run for Diesel Dave. This is now Monster Mud Dalmatian. Cynthia Gauthier hoping for a solid skills run. Gets a little slap wheelie. She will now line up for the log for her second hit. She will be the first driver to complete 2 hits. A beautiful sky wheelie. Oh my. And she is done. Well, that's your new best run of the night. Pretty solid run there. Kristen Hope and Wolf's Head will be next. A solid slap wheelie for the Wolf's Head. Kristen Hope trying to put down 2 good enough moves to get herself atop the leaderboard. Putting her down into a stoppie and will moonwalk it up the ramp. The first time she's tried that this year. Good move. Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken will be next out. The door's open for him to take the lead here in this competition. And just taps the gas, hits the brakes, and gives it a little stoppie action. We'll go for one more move, moonwalking it up the ramp, and those are 2 hits for Kraken. I'm still going to go for Cynthia Gauthier being the best. Oh, that doesn't count. I'm sorry, that does not count. Can't count that. That was not one fluid motion. Matt Pagliarulo in Jester will be next as he will try and take the lead away from Cynthia Gauthier, the best runaway, with a beautiful slap wheelie. He was so close to winning freestyle last night. He came in second, and clearly the magic continues into today with a phenomenal first hit. Let's see if hit number 2 can be just as awesome. Not as good of a second hit, but I'm still going to give that your best run of the night in this skills competition. Guy trying to change that right now is El Toro Loco's Kevin Crocker going for a sky wheelie. He's going for the log on the other side of the track. Sky wheeling it again, and a solid sky wheelie there. 2 good hits for the El Toro Loco. Now finding himself up in this skills competition is Heavy D and Brodozer, and that is his first hit. He will go for another bicycle here. On the sidewalls. Oh my goodness, and he got it! The sidewall donut, a move Heavy D has been working on a lot, and that is your new best run of the night. A phenomenal move and run out of Brodozer. Dawn Creighton and Scarlet Bandit is next. She'll put it into a sky wheelie, and that is hit number 1. She's now going for hit number 2. Her second hit last night was the same move here. Let's see if she can replicate what she did yesterday, and she does. She walks it up the ramp. Oh my, she sits it there, and will get it down. An even better move for Scarlet Bandit. Corey Rummel and Megalodon will now be tasked and knocking Brodozer out as the best run of the night. And he will pop it into a slap wheelie that, oh my, on one wheel. Oh man, could not quite even that truck out. He ends on his lid. Roy Bridgen in Exterminator is next out here in this skills competition. Let's see if he can change things up and get himself a good skills run. Another guy trying to put himself in a moonwalk mode, and he does. Seems to have some transmission issues. He's going to go for a bicycle for hit number 2, and that is the end of the run for Exterminator. Now Neil Elliott and Max D will be the next guy. He is the skills master on this tour. He has won almost every skills competition. It is going to be hard to beat what Brodozer did with those sidewall donuts, but if anyone's going to be able to do it, it is this guy right here. The man who has arguably the coolest 2-wheel move in Monster Jam history with last year his reverse backflip. And he cannot quite get it all the way up the ramp. A good first hit for Max D, but he does have one hit left to impress these fans. Pops it down on the front two wheels. He will walk it on a stoppie. Now he will moonwalk it backwards. And moonwalking it down. Still walking this truck. Oh my goodness, he keeps kissing the nose. A phenomenal run, and your new best run of the night for Neil Elliott and Max D. Jimmy Creedon in Bounty Hunter will be next out here in this skills competition. Going to be hard to follow what Neil Elliott did because the skills master put on another amazing skills run, but Jimmy Creedon will drag that tail with a slap wheelie. He will now have one hit left. And he will put it on the front two wheels. Oh no, rolling over, almost rolled over, but he's able to save it, powered out of that one. And now the last truck out in the skills competitions, Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. The last guy before freestyle, Morton Kane, has some engine issues, can't quite make it out for this competition. And Ryan will pop it in, almost got the moonwalk, could not quite get it in reverse in time. So that's hit number one. He's now going to go for a moonwalk off of here. I haven't seen him do this, maybe even ever. But he will walk the moonwalk. Oh no! He ends on his lid. Your skills winner is Heavy D and Brodozer, as we will now transition into freestyle today as Exterminator will start us off. Mr. Rollover Roy is going to try and put together a good 2 minutes of freestyle. He's had some solid moments this year. He just hasn't really been able to complete his runs. In Glendale, he had a pretty cool move. He almost had a 6 save. Had a nice save in the skill competition earlier today. So he's been having a pretty good year. I mean, honestly, he has been the top Exterminator driver, even though he's been really the big one. After Buddy Tompkins got hurt, we saw Richie Yatsko and Rod Schmidt hop in the cab. But it's nice to see Roy out here. This is when Roy was planning on driving anyway. And then they have J.R. McNeil slated to drive some shows. Hopefully he will be healthy enough to drive at that point. But Roy is getting some nice air out here during his freestyle. Just trying to start the freestyle competition off right. Look, there's Wayne. Oh my God, hi Wayne. We got a Wayne sighting. Oh my, a beautiful slap wheelie out of the Exterminator. Seems to be having some truck problems. Might be having a broken rear steer. Yeah, I think his rear steer's broken. He's going to do what he can to just give the fans a good show or just pull off to the side. We'll have to wait and see. I think he's going to keep trying to go. Oh, Rollover Roy confirmed. Oh my goodness, he almost had a crazy save. A solid run for Mr. Roy Pridgeon. Next out, this is Dawn Cretan and Scarlet Bandit. Again, I'm going to be cutting out the runs that I did not show. I mean, I'm going to, obviously, but I'm cutting out runs that I didn't feel were good. I mean, in all honesty, I'm just looking at the Monster Hub scoring, and anyone who got above a 5, I'm showing. Nice air for Scarlet Bandit. Dawn is, I am very impressed. I don't know why, but this year she is doing better than she has in so long. I mean, seriously, she is genuinely doing very well this year. I am so impressed. I have not seen her drive this well since like 2009. It's been a long time coming, but she is, I feel like she's actually trying this year to be really good. Like in the past you could tell that she wasn't trying, she was just going out there and having fun, but now she's actually trying to do very well, and it's really awesome to see. I love watching Dawn Cretan drive really well. I mean, seriously, I'm not bored by her freestyles. I'm genuinely excited because she's doing cool things, cooler things than we've seen her do in a long time. She's nailing those reverse poppers and two-wheel. Look at that big air out of Dawn Cretan. I am very impressed by what this lady's doing. Maybe she's doing it because she's going to be the female driver in the... Oh, no, Brianna Mahan. Never mind. I was going to say maybe because she's going to be the female driver in the World Finals because so far none of them have earned it. I mean, Cynthia hasn't driven enough. Candace hasn't been good enough. Kristen Hope isn't going to get in. And, I mean, I forgot about Brianna, but Dawn Cretan so far this year, other than Brianna Mahan, she's been the best female, so good for her. Kristen Hope and Wolf said we'll be next out to freestyle here today. Dawn Cretan, I'm going to give your new best run of the night. We've already skipped over 2 runs. El Toro Loco and Brodozer not going to be shown here. They did not have good enough runs. Brodozer did attempt a cool new move as Kristen Hope does a donut, but Heavy D tried to go for a corked mini flip where he turned his front wheels one way and his back wheels the other and hit the mini flip ramp. We've never seen anyone try that before. So I'm pretty impressed by him being able to pull that off. Even though he didn't land it, but he tried it. So that could lead, I mean, honestly, if people start doing that, that could lead to an entire new segue into new moves. But Kristen Hope out here throwing down a pretty good freestyle. Just trying to take the best run away from the other female out there, Dawn Cretan and Scarlet Bandit, but that is some nice air. Just going to spin into another donut. Just got a little over 30 seconds left on the clock. Started off her run very strong. She has definitely slowed up in pace a little bit since the beginning, but this has been probably her... I think this has been her best freestyle of the year so far. She has made a lot of improvements since the first show of the year. She is definitely improving a lot. She's putting herself up as a driver who can compete in stadiums. I know she's definitely not at the point where she can compete for wins, but she is able to compete alongside these guys and not look like she doesn't belong. And that's definitely something to say. Next down in this freestyle competition, this is Jimmy Cretan in Bounty Hunter. I don't think Jimmy Cretan's done a backflip yet this year. I'm just gonna say that. I don't think Jimmy Cretan has landed a backflip yet in this entire year. So if he can get that today, that'll be pretty cool. Could give him a nice boost in scoring already because we haven't seen any backflips tonight. Whenever you do the first backflip of the night, it will always boost your scoring. Beautiful slap wheelie. As always, Jimmy Cretan using the horsepower of that Bounty Hunter truck to get himself vertical. Two-time World Finals champion Jimmy Cretan trying to take home his first freestyle win of the year. He already has won a racing. I feel like if Jimmy Cretan doesn't win a racing competition in a year, I think that's the year that Jimmy Cretan realizes he's going to retire. But I really don't see that happening anytime soon. I mean, I didn't think... last year, honestly, going into the World Finals, I felt like it was the make it or break it year, where I felt like Jimmy was just on his way out, and I could see them trying to push him away a little bit, and where he was reaching a point where he might not be driving in the World Finals anymore. And then he goes out and wins the racing championship and decides to throw all that in the garbage. So he lit a dumpster fire with that. So I think Jimmy Cretan's going to be here for a few more years. But we also said that, I mean, well, no, I was going to say we said that about Corey Rummel when he won the showdown, but he didn't even make it into the World Finals. He hasn't made it in the World Finals ever since, but I do think this year he'll get himself back in because he's having a great year. Jimmy Cretan lining up for the backflip. Can he land it? Still hasn't landed one yet this year. There you go. He got the backflip. Picture perfect landing too. The first backflip of the night coming out of Jimmy Cretan. His time is up. This move, if he makes one, will not count. A great run for the Bounty Hunter, and he will get a solid score. That'll be your new best run of the night, in my opinion, but Diesel Dave and the Bro Camino is going to try and change that. Bro Camino truck has had its fair share of damage to itself in the beginning of the year. Now, Diesel Dave is a good driver. He will air that truck out, but he doesn't have the momentum that we've seen out of a lot of drivers. It was a nice combo there. But he has been, I think he's been lacking the speed that we need to see in other runs. He's kind of like Matt Pagliarulo, just in a Feld truck, which is kind of funny because Matt Pagliarulo and him really aren't on the same level of attention. But I really feel like we're watching Matt Pagliarulo freestyle whenever this guy's out running, because he doesn't get as much speed lining up for the jumps, but he absolutely floors it when he hits them to get as much air as he can. Imagine what he would do if he just went full speed the entire time. Oh, he's going for a slap wheelie here. I don't know if he's gonna. Yeah, he did not pull that out. I thought he was about to hit the side of the backflip ramp. I got really excited for a second. So the Bro Camino has 55 seconds left on the clock. Cam McQueen will be piloting this truck in the next weekend's commentary. He's actually driving it today. This tour was lucky. They got to stay in Florida because they had a show in Jacksonville. That is their show for this weekend, so might as well get yourself in a nice hotel that you could stay in for the week. He's lining up for the mini flip. Let's see what he's got. Oh my, a beautiful mini flip. He even got a little forward momentum action out of it. Perfect landing too. I'm gonna get some nice air. He is definitely airing this truck out. So far, I think this is a better run than Jimmy Cretin. Not by much, but it is a better run. And so far, I mean, it's got to be in a position to win the competition if no one else does anything better. So, oh, a nice little toss. He just tossed the truck there. That was an awesome move. So Bro Camino is done. That'll be your new best run of the night. Solid showing out of the Bro Camino. Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken's going to be the next guy to try and take down the beast that is the Bro Camino. Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken chasing his first ever freestyle competition win. I don't think he's actually ever won a competition in general, so his first competition win would be awesome. A guy who was competing for the showdown, and I think he's a pretty safe lock for that, especially the way he's been driving this year. He has picked up his talent so much that honestly there are times where I think he's better than Matt. And that's saying something, because Matt is a good driver, and this is only Nick's second year driving, but he has really picked up a lot. And look at that, already throwing in the two-wheel moves. It is just very impressive to see what this kid can do. And another two-wheel move is going to put it into a stoppie now. And he's going to balance that thing. He is really good at doing that. That is his move. He has trademarked that in his freestyles where he does a two-wheel move almost, I believe, every single freestyle. Oh my goodness, Matt Pagliarulo's son, Nick, lining up for the backflip. He has never landed one before. And he got it. Nick Pagliarulo's first ever backflip, and it was a beauty. Picture perfect. And he is going to launch it with a beautiful sky wheelie, and I think he broke the truck right there. That was an amazing run. Now we have Cynthia Gauthier in the Monster Mutt Dalmatian, who's going to start her off with a solid move. Cynthia's got a bulldozer wheel on the front end. That's pretty fun. I like the creativity. Guess that's what happens when you don't have any spare wheels on a two-show weekend.
She's really mad.
She is the queen of those little hard hits on the backside, popping it onto the front two wheels. If she can master getting a stoppie out of that, then she would really up her game. She's already won a freestyle competition this year, so she has gotten herself covered in that. Also, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you like Cynthia Gauthier in the regular Monster Mutt Dalmatian or in the Dalmatian Ice? I think it's fair to ask now because we are far enough into the season that we have seen this truck I mean, obviously she hasn't driven it too much, but we've seen her drive it enough that I think it's time we can make a decision. I really like the ice body better for her.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to line up for the backflip. And a great landing on the backflip. Having a solid run so far. And launching it, that is the biggest air of the night out of the Monster Mutt Dalmatian, and she still has 30 seconds left. She's got a real chance to take the lead here, and she is doing whatever she can. She is flying this truck around. Oh my, on the side, a little sidewall save too. With 15 seconds left in her run, she is putting together a really great freestyle. With one final move, she sends that truck through the sky, and that is how her freestyle is going to finish. The Monster Mutt Dalmatian looking fantastic out here in Miami. Your new best run of the night. Next out will be Neil Elliott in Max D. This is your last run of the commentary because the other 3 runs were not adequate enough, and they did not do very well. So, this is the last run of the commentary here from Neil Elliott in Max D. So it's either him or Cynthia Gauthier as your best runs of the night. He is getting big air as he will sky that Max D. Not going to be easy for him to take down what Cynthia Gauthier did. She had a really good run, but Neil Elliott has been known for doing some crazy things, so you never know what he's going to pull out of his hat. Also very hard to come out after a run like that, because if you don't match it, your score is going to be significantly lower, even if you have a run that's better than everybody else. Just not better than that one person. Neil's got less than a minute left on the clock here. He is having a solid run. He's competing with Cynthia a little bit, but I do think she has a bit of an edge. He's getting a lot of really good air, though. That should push him a little bit over the edge, depending on how this freestyle goes. But Cynthia was a lot more ragged edge. He's just getting big air, so that also plays in. I think they're about even right now. The last 30 seconds to me is going to determine who I think has the best run of the night. Oh my goodness, he's lining up for the mini flip? Neil Elliott lining up for the mini flip here. Oh, and he got it! Neil Elliott landing a mini flip. That is fantastic. And his time is up. That move doesn't count. If it did, I think that would be good enough to push him over the edge. But because he didn't have that save, I'm going to have to say that your winner tonight is Cynthia Gauthier, and indeed she is. Pulling out a big freestyle win for her. She really earned it. That was a great run, a great commentary all around. Miami was a good one. Every time we hop into Miami, we always seem to get some crazy moments, but this year was another solid show. We have one more show this weekend in the last 3 commentary weekend of the year. It's kind of crazy when you can see into another month. Let's see that. It is going to be a lot of fun because as you can see there, we can see all the way into April, and today is the last day of February. I mean, it's just great to know that we're going to be slowing down a little bit, but I will see you guys all next time. Thank you very much for watching.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me.